Happy summer, everyone. It's garden season. Join me as I turn this beautiful garden into this mid-century modern style illustration. If you don't know me, I'm Allison Cote. I'm a vintage style graphic designer working mainly for musicians. But lately, the ratio is almost balanced out to equal parts work for musicians and these mid-century modern style illustrations of houses, gardens, pets, what have you, and I'm having so much fun doing it. I started with the archway because it's kind of the centerpiece of the portrait. You can see I kind of laid in this olive green background. I'm gonna change that like a million billion times. Here I go changing it up. Something I've kind of had to come to terms with in showing my process is being okay with everybody seeing me try stuff that doesn't always end up looking too good. I used to hide my work away until I was absolutely happy with it so nobody could ever see anything that I didn't deem perfect. Speaking of perfect, this garden is impeccable. And believe it or not, the gardener is not a professional landscaper. I mean, she could be, clearly, but that's not her main gig. She just does this because she loves it, and her garden is absolutely stunning. Oop, here I go changing the background again. I think I do stick with this purple color for the background, though. Hey, how about we add some plants into this garden, huh? Because we got a lot of plants in this garden. I just had to get the base, the structures down, because they sort of inform the layout of everything else. The structures have to look like how they look. The plants can just be blobbity blobs. I should issue a strobe warning at the beginning of these videos. They're so sped up, but all that flashing is just me clicking on and off my art layers so I can look at the reference photo. But it is a little bit disorienting watching it all sped up, so apologies. I know people are going to ask in the comments, so I'll address this now. The song playing in the background is Michaela Davis and Southern Star, covering Grateful Dead's Cold Rain and Snow. This is from their live Relic session that you can look up on YouTube. I want to take a minute to appreciate that bright glowing green I just laid in. My mother, who's also an artist, Laura Wilder, is a lover of glowing green leaves. Actually, I'm going to drop in a bit of her art so you can see. Wow, glowy leaves. That painting's actually called Leaf Glow. You can find it on her website, laurawilder.com. Anytime I lay down that color to make a sunshiny, vegetal glow, I always think of her, so just wanted to mention her. Hi, Mom. Of course, this gorgeous garden has to have a fountain. Laying that in now. Anytime I do an illustration in this style, I'm really only using two brushes. And they're both from the Frank brush series. One is called Ink Blot Liner, and the other is called Farley Canvas. Ink Blot Liner is the line work you see, Farley Canvas is the brush strokey kind of gouache look. When it comes to illustrating plants in this style, you can get really abstract, and I always ask myself, WWMD, what would Mary do? Mary Blair. Mary Blair is definitely one of my biggest inspirations when I work in this style, and I'm constantly going back and forth referencing her work to try to get ideas for how I can depict certain things. We're nearing the end, and there's one last thing I wanted to make sure I had in this portrait, which were butterflies, because the butterfly is a very important symbol to the owner of this garden. Here's the finished product. Thank you so much if you watched to the end. I love you all. Thanks for following, and stay tuned for more vintage style graphic designs.